Okay, welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. I really appreciate you taking your time to hang out with me. I'm going to try to make this time valuable. I want to start with a quote from Patrick Henry. Guard with jealous attention. Think about these welcome words. Back to the Here's the Deal channel. I really appreciate you taking your time to hang out with me. I'm going to try to make this time valuable. A quote from Patrick Henry. Guard with jealous attention. What do we got going on here? Hold on. What's going on? Can you guys hear me okay? Wow, that was horrible. If one of me is horrible, then two or three of me is worse. Let me start this video, this live stream, with one of my favorite quotes from Patrick Henry. Guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Think about the words. Guard with jealous attention. Think about a relationship between a husband and wife, and if the husband finds out that the wife has been cheating on him or vice versa, imagine the jealousy that comes in your heart. It's like, that woman is mine. We made a commitment to each other. She promised me that I was hers, and I promised her that she was mine, and nothing should come between that. So guard with jealous attention, the public liberty. Suspect anyone who comes near that precious jewel. Nothing will preserve that liberty but downright force. And when you give up that force, you are ruined. My question is, are you guarding with jealous attention and a jealous, ferocity? Are you ferocious about guarding liberty? Because that's the way we should be. And if we're not, we will lose it. The price of freedom, like I end every video with, is nearly every video. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance and indifference to this notion. You don't have to have active resistance. All you need is indifference. Indifference to this notion. What notion? The fact that liberty will literally cost you everything. And it's going to take all your time, your effort, and your energy so that you can continue to enjoy liberty, because there's always somebody behind the scenes or in front of the scenes, covertly or overtly, trying to take your liberties from you in a myriad of different and creative ways. So guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Guard with jealous attention the public safety. No. Safety's not guaranteed, but we all know that we have the right to be free. If you don't have the right to be free, I don't have the right to be free. None of us has the right to be free, and we should all pack our bags and just get on about the business of doing something else, while the people behind the curtain and in front of the curtain are trying to take our liberties away, take our freedoms away, take our right to protect ourselves away. So it's that important. And you have to suspect everyone who comes near that precious jewel. Why? Because if you let down your defenses, if you drop your guard, you will be ruined. That's why the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people of heaven will secure their own oppression. You secure your oppression through passive indifference, not active resistance. You don't have to actively resist liberty. All you have to do is be passively indifferent to it. And guess what? You will lose it. So I struggle in my mind. The reason I named this Feeding the Trolls Live is because I've been called, and probably rightly so, an idiot for entertaining the idea of feeding trolls. In other words, responding to trolls who are offering up criticisms to me or to somebody else, and then jumping into the fray as though I'm some kind of superhero and I will save the day. Here, let me lend some truth and shine the light of scrutiny on this whole thing. I'm going to clear things up here. William Babbitt, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you to everybody who's become a member in the last, just since the beginning. I appreciate it. It really helps. If you want to become a channel member, or if you want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Support other channels too, because we're about to lose everything. And if we don't stand up for our liberties, we ain't going to have liberties to be able to stand up for. We're not going to have liberty on the internet. We won't have liberty on the highways and byways. We already don't have it on the highways and byways. We got to push the tides of tyranny back. We don't have it in federal offices, post offices, schools, 1,000 feet of the roadway in front of a school. It's ridiculous. If you get pulled over for some slight traffic infraction and you are in accordance with the Second Amendment, carrying a personal protection device, and they see that, they can literally take your life away for that traffic stop because you were in a freaking school zone, or you were in some state that doesn't honor the Second Amendment. That's how serious this whole thing's become. If you watch my last video, Gary Willis became the very first casualty of the red flag extreme risk protection order anti-Second Amendment laws. These, edicts of politicians backed by the threat of force. He comes to the door with his Smith & Wesson 357 to guard his household or whatever. And, maybe Gary Willis was a belligerent a-hole. Maybe he was a drunk and he had family problems or whatever. That's the story. That's how the story goes. But that does not give the state the right to come and take away this guy's liberty. So I want to address this feeding of trolls things because it really does kind of gnaw at me. I'm of the opinion that there's a time for everything and a season for activity under the sun. So I think sometimes it's okay to address them, and at other times it's like, why are we even bothering? So several people have told me that one of the troll channels mentioned me on, I think it was a live stream. It was a live stream that didn't have anything to do with me. It was a live stream on a guy named Vegas VIPs. And there was this one troll guy in here and another troll. And my name was mentioned. And I'm going to show you the transcript from this. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, okay. This is the transcript from this video. And the reason I'm doing it this way right here is because I see the value on one side of not giving the troll any traction or any position, because it truly is, I don't want to say mockable. It's more sad and ironic what these troll channels are trying to do. And I can't see it any other way at this point than what they're trying to do is welcome tyranny with open arms. Here, take tyranny. These frauditors don't have the right to record in public. They're bothering people and they deserve every bit of violence that's coming on them. That's what I want to highlight in this video right here, because that's essentially what this troll, which I'll now call Clout Chaser, and I'll define Clout Chaser in a second, and I'm going to show you why I call this guy a Clout Chaser. I'm just going to go ahead and highlight and underline and maybe increase the font on this. So this guy, literally, this troll channel, this owner of this troll channel called himself a Clout Chaser. And that's one of the reasons that I have no desire to get involved with a debate. Now, if I was going to get into an interaction with one of the troll channel owners, it wouldn't be to debate. I mean, what are we going to debate? I would like to have a conversation. I would like to have an unbiased understanding of where they're coming from and what their objectives are. And I would like the chance to maybe express my ideas and maybe, hopefully, I mean, I know this is pie in the sky, and I know this is looking through things with Pollyanna glasses and rose-colored glasses and all that kind of stuff. But I would hope that that kind of conversation would yield somebody stepping back, getting in touch with their humanity and saying, wow, I am advancing tyranny as I trample liberty on my channel. I'm making the world a worse place. So let me just start this. I'm not even familiar with this Vegas VIPs, but Vegas VIPs says to the Clout Chaser, here's the deal, really did a number on you, bro. Now, I think what he's referring to is the video that I did on a channel named Lemmy the Pacifist. And Lemmy the Pacifist was walking, if you'll remember, it was a video that I did. When did I launch this? November 27th. It was a video that I did. Here, I'll just bring this. Can I bring this over there? I don't know. Anyway, it's a video called Camera Dude Assaulted in Front of Cop. Trolls Love It. And right there, I addressed the fact that trolls were applauding the initiation of force and violence on a peaceful man who is standing on a public sidewalk exercising his First Amendment right to record in public. What happened was Lemmy was walking on a public sidewalk. He encountered a police interaction where reportedly a homeowner had just had his home broken in on, and they had the cops over there doing the report. The homeowners got extremely upset at Lemmy, the pacifist, out there recording. Basically the male threatened him. The female threw sticks and rocks at him. And this clout chaser was laughing. He thought it was hilarious that violence was being foisted on the cameraman. So that's what we're talking about here. Here's the deal. Really did a number on you, bro. And by the way, my objective when I create a channel, a video on my channel that shows, what trolls did, is just to unearth what the frick the truth is here. What direction is this troll trying to take his audience? What direction is the audience allowing this troll to lead them in? And by extension, how does this make society better? How does it make society worse? So mine isn't, I don't come at it from the perspective is, I'm going to do a number on this troll. I'm going to own him. That is not in my heart. But apparently it's in the hearts of clout chasers, this clout chaser. And Clout Chaser starts saying, yeah, so here's the deal. And then Vegas VIP says he really called you out and put you in your place. It's not my job to put anybody in their place, but it is my job to find out what the truth is. It is my job to guard with jealous attention the public liberty and to suspect anybody who comes near that precious jewel. And I see Clout Chaser as somebody who comes near that precious jewel. Clout Chaser says, let me address that. I know what you're saying. Here's the deal. Makes videos on me, makes fair use transformative videos on me, and I make fair use transformative videos on him. Now he has invited me. He says, now that's me, has invited me to do a debate multiple times, and I sent him an email. I have proof. And since then, I have not received an answer. That's his choice if he wants to debate or not. Now, I don't remember this because for the last couple years, I've been of the mind of I'm not interested in debate. I am interested in finding out what people think, but I don't remember. And if you guys do, let me know. But I honestly don't remember ever inviting this individual to a debate because I've never been interested in debating anybody, let alone debating this guy. Having a conversation with him, maybe if I ran into him on the street, maybe if he was up in my face and we were face to face, I'd want to have a conversation with him. But I don't see, and you'll see as we go over this transcript of this video, you'll see why I don't want to engage with somebody that I believe, actually now I know, is operating in bad faith. So he says he sent an email. Guys, I get so many emails. I apologize for not answering a fraction of them. If he sent me an email, I have not seen it. He said he sent me an email that he has proof. He's not received an answer, of course, because I don't remember ever seeing that email. That's his choice if he wants to debate or not. I'm sure his audience, and get this, and I hope you guys don't think like this. I can't control and don't want to control how people think. But this guy says, I'm sure his audience thinks that he owned me. I hope you don't think that. I hope you don't think that. As a matter of fact, I hope your perception of things only gets changed by the reality of any kind of truth that I bring to the table. That's it. I don't want anybody following me to, because I'm some kind of personality. I don't want anybody to think anything more of me than is warranted by what reality is. I'm not here on a power trip. I would rather be doing, let's see, I don't really, it's not that I would rather be doing something else, but I would rather not be dealing with tyranny. I would rather live in a world where we actually had freedom and we had people who were leaders, not governors or rulers, but leaders who actually looked out and looked after the interests of people. I fully understand and am aware of the fact that the majority of people need and want leaders. That may not be you. That's definitely not me. But I don't see a problem. There's no problem with being a leader or even being led. What I have a problem with is somebody wanting to be a ruler and other people wanting to be ruled. Now, you're free to want to be ruled if you want to. But for somebody to want the ring of power and to rule and control others against their will, that is fundamentally immoral. It is fundamentally immoral for anybody to initiate injustice, unfair, evil injustice on peaceful people who want to be left alone. It is fundamentally evil. Why? How do we know that? Because I know that that ruler wouldn't want that done to them. They wouldn't want their free will violated. It's self-evident. It's nothing you have to read in a book. It's nothing you have to create a constitution for. It's nothing you have to have holy writ for, holy scriptures or anything. You know that you don't want to be ruled, so don't you go out and try to rule others against their will. It's self-evident. Everybody knows this. If you're honest and if you're sane, because dishonest, insane people say they want to be ruled. But those aren't the people I'm just talking about the general population. So I hope you don't think for a second that when I did that video on this individual that I owned him. The question is this individual for liberty or is he against liberty? That's it. That's all I was trying to lay out. And this individual says, and my audience knows that I owned him. So he wants and he believes that his audience knows, not believes, not thinks, not feels, but knows that he owned me. Now, I don't know what video he's referring to, but I do know that he wants to own someone. I do know that he thinks his audience knows that he owns someone. I think that's a wrong direction. If you want to make a positive change in this world, if you want to affect the world for the good, if you want to be a good person, you're not out there trying to own anybody. You're out there trying to light brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. It's not the majority who will prevail. It's the irate and tireless minority who are keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men, and they have no desire to own somebody. Oh, I got you. Burned ya. Burned you. That's what we used to say in high school. Oh, you got burned. Oh, you were so burned. Oh, and people love it when you get burned. Really? Maybe you should question your motives. If you really love it, if you really thrill at somebody getting burned. Ooh, you got burned. It's like, you know what I'd rather have happen? Rather than this person get burned, I'd rather this person come to the well of truth and take a real deep sip. How about guzzle some truth? That's what I'd really want. I don't want you to be burned. I want you to be quenched by truth so that you can go out and start changing lives and making a positive impact in this world. So it's irrelevant what your opinion is. So then, more of this as we go along, it's going to become evident to you why I'm calling him a clout chaser, which is not a positive term, but he calls himself that anyway. But the thing is, the Vegas VIP says, but the thing is that you condone violence. I'm so glad to read this in this transcript because that is exactly what this clout chaser does. He condones violence. And I laid it out here. Let me just, let me bring this over. Oh man, where is that? How is that not coming over? Hold on a second. I laid that out succinctly, not just because of my words, but I laid it out in his own words in this video that I did when I covered Lemmy the Pacifist. The name of the video is Camera Dude Assaulted in Front of Cop and Trolls Love It. So I'm glad that, let me get this back here. This is kind of hard to toggle in between and get everything right. I'm glad that Vegas VIP says, but the thing is that you condone violence. Now listen to how Clout Chaser handles this. You condone violence against someone that's not doing anything violent in the first place. We're just holding up a camera in public and you condone people throwing rocks, which is exactly what he did. He loved it. He thought it was hilarious. He thought it was funny. He laughed himself and, there's nothing hidden there. So Clout Chaser says, oh, really? So the accusation was made by Vegas VIPS to this Clout Chaser dude, this troll, that you condone violence against somebody who's not violating somebody else. And the response is in the form of a logical fallacy. Clout Chaser says, oh, really? So when Riverside Accountability pepper sprayed a man while he was on the floor and beat the blank out of him with like 40 other degenerates, and now he's facing a serious felony for that, that's not violent right? That's not violent. So what did he do here? He engaged in a logical fallacy that can be called whataboutism. The Latin is to quoque, and it means what about or you also. To quoque means you also. So instead of recognizing and acknowledging what Vegas VIPs says about him, this Clout Chaser condoning violence, Clout Chaser sets up kind of a straw man, logical fallacy to quoque and says, what about Riverside Accountability? He committed an act of violence. Now, if it's true that Riverside Accountability, I don't know anything about this. If it's true that Riverside Accountability, who, by the way, just put out, he's the one who put out the video on the deputy that body slammed that dog, Shane Day body slammed the dog from Riverside County PD. But if it's true that Riverside Accountability pepper sprayed a man while he was down and 40 other degenerates started beating him too, that is violence against an individual while he's down. I don't condone that. But guess what? Clout Chaser doesn't deny that he condones violence. He employs the logical fallacy of whataboutism and says, what about Riverside Accountability? This to me tells me that Clout Chaser is not interested in having a good faith, sincere, honest, honorable conversation. It lets you know what he's all about. And it tells you that he is absolutely not credible. And the ironic thing about this transcript, and I read the entire thing, the ironic thing about this transcript is that Clout Chaser condemns Vegas VIPs for doing something apparently on his channel. I guess he faked some audits or something like that. And he said, how can you hope to have a good credibility rating in the minds of your audience when you put one video out there, at least one, that where you were, you weren't honest and the whole thing was staged and set up. This comes from a guy who in fact does condone violence. So moving on with this, Vegas VIPs, I never advocated for him, but you advocate for the lady that threw rocks at the First Amendment auditor. And I think that was funny right here goes to the Clout Chaser, not to Vegas VIPs, because it doesn't make sense for Vegas VIPs to say that was funny unless he was saying that he said it was funny. So Clout Chaser says that, meaning the woman who threw the rock at the guy who was not only doing nothing wrong, but he was exercising his constitutionally protected rights. She initiated the violence on him. Clout Chaser says that was funny as you know what. That was hilarious. It was little pebbles. She wasn't going to hurt him. Okay. What I wanted to ask you, it was little pebbles. It was hilarious. So Clout Chaser admits that the initiation of violence on a peaceful man who literally did nothing wrong and walked in the fullness of his unalienable rights, he was violated by somebody who initiated violence, and Clout Chaser approves that initiation of violence. Why would I ever want to have a debate or a conversation with somebody like that? What good would it do me? What good would it do him? What good would it do our audience? We already know what he's all about. Vegas VIP says, you enjoy the violence against First Amendment auditors. Clout Chaser says, I enjoy bullies getting what they deserve. Absolutely. Look, these people were just robbed by somebody, came into their house and stole their you-know-what. And here comes Lenny, the creep who, by the way, goes to soccer fields and records little girls. That's what he does. It's on his channel. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what the context is, but Clout Chaser is calling somebody who's exercising his constitutionally protected right a bully who, when somebody initiates violence on him, gets what he deserves. That's how convoluted this guy's mind is. That's how convoluted this Clout Chaser troll is. Stay tuned for the Clout Chaser, by the way. Recording little girls, that's what he does. It's on his channel, and he's there just instigating. So yeah, if they threw a couple pebbles at him, it wasn't pebbles. Even I don't think he's being honest. He isn't being honest there, because even this Clout Chaser guy on a video that he did on Lemmy's video showed the rock hanging in air, and it wasn't just a little pebble. It was big enough to be caught by a freeze frame video camera at what, 60 frames per second? It was big enough. And if that thing hit the guy in the eye or in the side of the head, it could have caused damage, but it's irrelevant. She wanted to hurt him by her words. Her husband or her boyfriend, or whoever the guy is that came up and threatened his life, wanted to hurt him. And the clout chaser guy thought all that stuff was funny. I wanted to ask you, Vegas VIPs, how does it feel to be the only auditor or frauditor in the entire world who has admitted to faking videos? How does it feel? Vegas VIP says, if you go on my channel, 99% of my audits are real. I told you already that I did. I had already admitted this. I did fake that one video, but that's the only video I ever faked. I'm telling you guys, I don't care what you do in life. This is what I try to instill in my sons and daughters as they were growing up. I don't care what you do in life. I don't care if you're a rocket scientist. I don't care if you're a brain surgeon, a ditch digger, a framer, an electrician. I don't care what you do. Install toilets, go down in the gutter and scrape sewers. I don't care what you do. Always protect and maintain your integrity. Always be honest. Always be honorable. Always. You never want to lose that. If it's true that this Vegas VIPs faked a video, you could do everything right 100% for 20 years. And on the first day of the 21st year, do something wrong. And I don't write the principles. There's some kind of principle in the universe where you have undone everything. You have brought your integrity into question. Never do that. And I'm not talking about never make a mistake. I'm talking about never, ever. Did I say ever? Never compromise your integrity. Soon as you do that, you open the floodgates for even the most vile people to say an honest thing. Because Clout Chaser is actually about to say something that, man, this should literally make you tremble. If anybody ever does this, if anybody ever fakes something saying that it's real, you should not be able to sleep at night. Clout Chaser says, okay, but how could we trust you that that's the only one you faked? Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't read this whole. If you go to my channel, 99% of my audits are real. I told you already that I did. I had already admitted this. Yes, I did fake that one video, but that's the only video I ever faked. You cannot blame people for not believing you. You cannot blame them. You can't. And you'll be tempted to blame them. Even if what you're saying is right. From this day forward, I will never do this again. You should always expect to and accept the criticism of this right here. Okay, but how could we ever trust you that that's the only one you fake? Because look, if I ever made a video on that and then that video would have just stayed on your channel. So I guess this Clout Chaser guy made a video exposing Vegas VIP's video as being faked. Vegas VIPs admitted it. And Clout Chaser saying, if I never exposed you, then your entire audience would have thought that all your videos were on the up and up and none of them was faked. You would have just stayed, it would have just stayed on your channel and your audience would have thought it was real. Meanwhile, it was staged. You're the only frauditor who's ever admitted to faking videos. Now, if you want to pretend that your news, doesn't that make you fake news because you fake videos? So they talk about this. I think that Clout Chaser made a solid argument there. If you ever do something that is a lie, trying to pawn it off as the truth, and then somebody exposes you, and then it turns out to be true that you tried to pawn fallacy off as truth, for the rest of your life, unfortunately, for the rest of your life, that will follow you around. And every time somebody brings it up, you should suck it up and take it and never be defensive about it because you brought that on yourself. So Clout Chaser says, I just know that you're a this is Cloud Chaser, but I think it's Clout Chaser. I just know, this is Clout Chaser saying this to Vegas VIPs. I just know that you're a clout chaser and there's nothing wrong with that. And then Clout Chaser admits, I'm a clout chaser too. I'm probably a way bigger clout chaser than you are, but I do it smart. I don't need to lie to my audience. I don't believe that for a second. Because if you will reduce yourself to being a clout chaser, we're going to define that in a second. Just stay tuned. You can't be trusted. If you are literally a clout chaser, wanting acclaim, wanting the spotlight on the coattails of somebody who's famous, I don't trust you. You can't be trusted. And you already admitted you have no credibility, clout chaser, admitting that you're a clout chaser, calling other people clout chasers. Let me just read that again. This is so rich with irony. I just know that you're a clout chaser and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a clout chaser too. I'm probably a way bigger clout chaser than you are, but I do it smart. I don't need to lie to my audience to get views. And the fact that the fact that you were willing to cross that line to make a fake video, you lost all credibility, says the clout chaser. Your career is done for even before it even started. Let me show you something. Let's define clout chaser. I know this is basic. I know everybody knows what it is, but I like to get back to basics. Clout chaser is a critical term for a person who is thought to be intent on attaining fame. Now, words have meaning. Clout chaser troll admitted that he is a clout chaser and he's a better clout chaser than Vegas VIPs. And he's saying that he's a person who is intent on attaining fame, especially one who tries to do so in ways considered desperate. And it is a desperate attempt. If you're literally riding the coattails of somebody who's famous so that you can be famous yourself, you've got no credibility, no real legitimate credibility, such as levering their proximity to famous people or doing things considered foolish, degrading, or dangerous. So Clout Chaser admits that he's leveraging his proximity to famous people, and he's admitting that he's intent on attaining fame. That's who we're talking about here. That's what he's talking about. Vegas VIP says, I'm glad you admitted you're a Clout Chaser, by the way, too. Clout Chaser says, yeah, 100%. I'm the biggest clout chaser and I have no problem admitting it. So when people say, hey, why don't you debate that guy? Well, there are a lot of reasons. That's just one of them. And he says that several times I've asked him to debate him. I don't remember that. And Clout Chaser, if you're watching this, please provide proof that I asked you to engage in a debate with me. Because for years, I don't know how many years, I've been on the internet since 2014 or 15, really got started with my channel in 16, 17 or 18, something like that. And I've been of the mind for years that I'm not interested in debating. I am interested in truth. I am interested in honest conversations with honest individuals who have integrity, who are honorable. And I'm not saying I will never enter into a conversation with this guy, but I don't see at this point what it would benefit anybody to have such a conversation. If you guys disagree, let me hear what you have to say in the comment section. I just want to bring this all around. 33 minutes, that's enough. I want to bring this around by closing with, the Patrick Henry quote, guard with jealous attention the public liberty. There's nothing more important than your freedom. Some people could say your health is greater than your freedom. Yes. Okay. That's true. You could have all the freedom in the world and have bad health. That'd be horrible. Or you could have the best health in the world and have no freedom. That would be horrible. So, okay. Health and freedom. Okay. What about water? Water's important. It's like, yeah. Okay, water, air, health, and freedom. There you go. Kevin Grip gives $10. Thanks. Enjoy the video. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Also, if you guys, real quick, if you want to Here's the deal. Is your High Impact Flicks email address compromised? I sent an email and got a bounce back, then started getting massive spam emails on an address that was previously clean of all spam. Holy cow. Let me see. Let me check real quick. God, it takes me so long to check my emails. Let's see. Last videos are... Oh, yeah, I just now got a bunch of emails just came in the last like 2 minutes. So yeah, I've got a lot of emails. I don't know why. Are you doing contact at highimpactflix.com? Who said that? David S. Anybody else having problems contacting me? Contact at highimpactflix.com. I'm getting emails successfully. A lot of emails just in the last 5 minutes. And that's typically the way it goes. Oh, you know what? There's one more thing I wanted to cover. You guys, don't go anywhere because somebody left a comment under my last video. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I wasn't sure if it was true, so I did some digging. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. It's going to take forever to find this thing. Yeah, it's going to take forever to find it. Let's see if I can do this. Here's what the post said. It said, oh, here we go. It said, Really Graceful was offered $5,000 to speak for Israel. How about you? Now, I didn't know what he was talking about. And I'm going to take this off screen because I reached out to Grace from Really Graceful, which, by the way, if you want excellent, well-researched content, I'm going to give a shout out to this channel right here. And this is in a different genre than...
What difference at this point?
My content, which is basically police and public servant accountability. The name of the channel is Really Graceful. Oh, why? Look at that. I got unsubscribed again. Grace, if you're watching, check that out. You know how many times I've subscribed to Grace on a live stream? At least this is at least my third time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly being unsubscribed by channels that I want to be subscribed to. I'm constantly having the bell notification turned off to channels that I want to be notified by. So this is Really Graceful. I'm gonna put anybody familiar, put a 1 in the room if you're familiar with Really Graceful's content. It's really good. It's well thought out. It's well put together. It's entertaining, informational content that will really make you think. Very well researched. So this person asked me, hey, she was offered $5,000 to speak for Israel. And how can I, oh, here we go. Let's see. I want to make sure that I'm not divulging anybody's private information here. I'm going to read to you this email that was sent. Here's what she said, and I asked her for permission to talk about this tonight. I said, hey, any idea what this guy's talking about? She said, I posted a video showing an email from an Israeli advertising company that said that they would compensate influencers for pro-Israel content. What's the problem with that? I don't want to post pro-American content. I don't want to post pro-Palestinian content or pro-Israel content or pro-European content. You know what I want to post? I want to post pro-truth content. Because what if America falls short of truth? What if? Haven't they? In spades? I don't want to be put in a box where I'm going to create content that is pro ... I want to be pro-truth. Everything has to be subservient to truth, or what's the point of living? What if you put out pro-Israeli content or pro-Chinese or pro-Russian or pro-Ukraine content, and you find out that the pro fill in the blank that you were supporting for the last 10 years turns out that they pretending to be the good guys were actually the bad guys. How would you feel about that? Hopefully pretty bad. Hopefully you would have said, why was I so freaking biased to accept that paycheck to put out pro ... content when I should have just played it safe, played it secure, played it objective, and just put out the undiluted, unvarnished truth? So answering my question, Grace DM'd me and said, I posted a video showing an email from an Israeli advertising company that said that they would compensate influencers for pro-Israeli content. But the guy on TikTok I showed said he was offered $5,000, not me. It's like playing a game of telephone in the comment section. So this guy said that, he made an assertion that Grace was offered the $5,000 and it wasn't true. I'd send you a link to the original tweet, but of course it got removed from Twitter for, quote, violating privacy. So let me show you the email that was sent to her. Hi, Grace. I'm Ido from the Movers community. I wanted to personally reach out to you for a paid opportunity with the goal of promoting a positive view of, you know what? I got to be careful how many times I say that word. We operate a user-friendly platform featuring original content endorsed by whose government advertising agency? Oh, this makes me feel so good inside. Where members actively promote curated pro-you-know-what content, becoming ambassadors with just a few clicks. Interested, Grace? Let's discuss details and compensation. We're few against many, but together we will win. Sincerely, this guy, community manager from Movers Community. And I thought that was interesting because that kind of sums up what we're talking about here. Who are you promoting? What is your goal? What's the intent? What's the motivation of your heart? Who are you really? That's all that really matters. Are you a person of character? Are you a person of integrity? Or are you just a person who just wants to make all the money he can in the short time that he has here on this earth, and to hell with everybody else? Because that will only make the world worse. Most people actually fit in that category, I would think. Unfortunately, people, you look at the law enforcement community, those people will do anything for a paycheck, literally anything, including taking the life of an innocent person at a traffic stop. What was that guy's name? I wish I could remember names. That guy's name, let's see. Wester, what's his name? Wester, the deputy who was planning drugs on over 100 people that the prosecutors had to drop the case over. Wasn't it Wester? Let's see. What a sloppy way. Zachary Wester sentencing. This guy, let's look at his face.
Found guilty of 9.
Let's look at this guy's smug mug. He's got a ritualistic shame muzzle on. Oh, that's great. Where's his mug? What would you think about a son who did this nasty stuff? Just planting drugs on innocent people, knowing, where is he? Jeez, I'll just freeze frame it right there. There's Zachary Wester. He's a cop who was, people trust this guy. Oh, this guy's going to keep us safe. He's going to keep us secure. He's going to make sure our community is operating on the moral principles on which it was found. And lo and behold, this guy is such a dumb arse that he was recording his crimes on body cam. And if it wasn't for that body cam, he'd still be out in the street, still doing what he's doing. That's why body cams, when they're put on, they should never be taken off. They should never be allowed to be tampered. These cops should not have power to turn them on and turn them off so they can have their little secret conspiracy conversations and conspire against rights in violation of 18 USC 241. Never. This guy was such an mental midget that he recorded his crimes on camera. And think about it, man. We are talking about dozens and dozens. Prosecutors dismissed at least 100 cases. Settlements have already been made to the tune of $1 million. And it's probably going to rise as people come out of the woodwork and go, hey, I'm in jail right now because of this guy. People literally lost 100% of their freedoms because this guy said, oh, you're transporting meth. Get in the back of the car, put the torture cuffs on him, fingerprint him, put him in that cage. This guy can actually sleep well at night because he's so immersed and so hardened in cognitive dissonance. That's how he can go to sleep in the face of knowing that people are suffering in a prison cell. Their lives ruined, jobs lost, husbands leaving wives, wives leaving husbands, children left without a mom and dad. And guys, here's the thing about this Zachary Wester guy. He's just one guy that does that. How many cops exponentiate this throughout America and the entire world? How many cops have a stash in the back of their trunk or underneath their seat where they can hide drugs and plant them on you during a regular traffic stop where you were pulled over supposedly for a non-illuminated tag light? It's so disgusting and infuriating. And then you know what makes me, just riles me up even more? I think about these trolling channels that I don't know if they applaud this. I wouldn't doubt it though. But they applaud the initiation of force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. And that's what this is. This is the violence of the state coming down on somebody who doesn't even do drugs. You pulled him over for a minor traffic infraction, which you probably lied about. They probably didn't even commit a traffic infraction. That's why we do what we do, guys. We got to put an end to the people like this. Joe Mason, $20 super chat. Thank you. I really appreciate the work you do, brother. I feel less alone in this fictional reality. It does seem like fiction, doesn't it? I like Bastiat. The state is that great fiction by which everyone seeks to live at the expense of everyone else. The psychology is amazing that we see in the steps of society. Totally agree with you, man. Totally agree. Vegas. Oh, what's up, Vegas VIPs? Vegas VIPs. We were just talking about you on this transcript here. What's up? Here's the deal. Most of my content is cop watching, post office audits, Vegas VIPs here. Hey, just, I mean, man to man, Vegas VIPs. I mean, it sounds like you already knew you messed up, so I'm not here to hammer you or anything, but please be patient with people when they say, you know, or whether they say they believe you or not, or they're slow to believe you or whatever. And I'm sure you probably are. But, you know, it's a tough road, man. It's a tough road. And I'm sure, or I'm not sure, but I'd like to believe that you're on the part in your journey now where you would have nothing to do with that anymore. You know, only you can answer that in your heart. And I'd like to believe that's what happens with you. You know, we all make mistakes, but And that was, I don't chalk that up for a mistake, because if you intentionally did it and you admitted you intentionally did it, that's not a mistake. You went into that knowing what you were doing, and then you try to pawn it off as truth. Again, I'm not trying to beat you with a stick here, but let your last mistake, you know, legitimate mistakes, be your best teacher. And they will be if you learn from them. And that's wisdom, because mistakes will help you accumulate knowledge, and the application of that knowledge in your life going forward, that right there is true, wholesome wisdom. So thanks for the super chat, man. Vegas VIPS, thank you for mentioning me, but I want you to know that, let me see, what was your wording here? I just want you to know, because I do want to clear this up. You said that I did a number on Clout Chaser, that I really put him in his place. I want you to know that it wasn't my intent to put Clout Chaser in his place. Definitely not my intent. So if I came across like that, you know, because I could have come across like that. I want to change my ways and not come across like that, because that's definitely not in my heart. Yeah. Freddie says, Zachary just made me physically sick. Yeah, me too. Me too. What's up, Angry Vet? Rathgar is here, shouting at the clouds. Victor B. Let's see. If you act in bad faith, it it's going to come back to bite you. And not just bite you, but everything that you stand for that's good right now. It'll give people, not a legitimate reason, but it will give people in their minds a reason to move away from the message you're currently speaking. And, I understand that. One of the worst things that you can be in this life is a hypocrite anyway. A dishonorable, clout-chasing hypocrite. So, I guess that's it, man. I do want to end this just again with Patrick Henry. Guard whatever you do. Whatever you do. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Like it. Like this video. Whatever. But more importantly, whatever you do, guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect anyone. Mother? Yeah. Father? Yeah. Not that you're... And it's not that you're hating them. It's just that you are in guarded mode. It's like, man, suspect anybody who comes near that precious jewel. Because people are constantly trying to take a grab at it. Extreme risk protection or red flag laws. We're doing this for your safety. Back up for officer safety. We've got traffic laws. It's all for your safety. Guys, the public safety will always be the alibi of tyrants. Even the public liberty. The public liberty will be the alibi of tyrants. They're not going to come to you and say, hey, we're here to take your liberty away. Here, we're here to make you unsafe. No, they'll come there and they'll say, hey, this is all about your freedom. This is for your benefit. This is for your good. This is for your safety and your security. I love what Benjamin Franklin said. If you give up a little essential liberty to chomp on some politically promised security, which, by the way, never comes, then you deserve neither liberty nor security. And that's why you guard it with jealous attention. Suspect anyone who comes near that precious jewel. Nothing will preserve it but downright force. And when you give up that force, you are utterly ruined. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream. What I'll do is I'll leave the chat open for about 15 minutes when I end this video. Usually it ends in 5 minutes, but if you guys want to chat among yourselves, I'll go ahead and just close the stream in OBS and I'll leave it open on YouTube so that you guys can chat for 15 minutes, which means I'll be closing down at, what is it, 8:20? So I'll close the chat at 8:35. Enjoy your night.